Well, we're joined by Smriti Irani. We'll just get across to Mr. Tom Vadakkan in just a few moments. Ms. Smriti Irani is here with us. First of all, Ms. Irani, congratulations to you and the Bharatiya Janata Party for this stupendous victory in the Hindi heartland, 3-1, going against the predictions of the exit poll, etc. But what do you think is the reason for the BJP sweep in the Hindi heartland and the improved performance also in Telangana?
I think that you all will concede that the only reason we have is something we call very simply the Modi magic or the Modi guarantee. But it is more than just those two words. It is the leadership quality of Prime Minister Modi. It is the administrative framework and the policy making that the Prime Minister is renowned for. And I think it's the direct communication between the Prime Minister and the citizens of the state that has given us this resounding victory, for which I'm extremely grateful to citizens who have voted for the Bharatiya Janata Party. And I would like to just elaborate why. Firstly, Narendra Modi is known for fiscal prudence and fiscal discipline. He is known to balance between rights and responsibilities, and that is his message for citizens. For citizens to give their support, knowing that this is not a Prime Minister that delves into freebies. This is not a Prime Minister that limits himself to rhetoric. This is a Prime Minister that has also carved out a future for the next 25 years for us to achieve as a nation. I think that has also resonated a lot with our citizens who've gone to vote. If you look at the voting pattern today, particularly as a woman, I'm elated that there is an overwhelming support of female voters towards Narendra Modi and the Bharatiya Janata Party. If you look at our diverse demography, what is extremely, I think, a source of jubilation for us is the Adivasi vote, which has gone decisively in support of Narendra Modi and the Bharatiya Janata Party. And I also believe that the personal attacks that the Gandhi family particularly and the opposition had mounted against the Prime Minister, that has received a severe, I think, fight back from the citizens and from our voters. So I think these have been one of the highlights of this election.
Are you talking specifically about the Panoti comment and some of the other things that were said against the Prime Minister?
Why only one comment? When has the Gandhi Khandan ever lost out on an opportunity to degrade the position of the Prime Minister? When has the Gandhi siblings ever lost an opportunity to personally demonize the Prime Minister? I think this result is a death knell for the juvenile politics of the Gandhi siblings.
Was it a conscious decision not to project any chief ministerial faces in any of the three states, Ms. Irani?
I think that the Prime Minister's leadership and the guarantee that the Prime Minister and we as BJP Karyakartas professed was the mainstay of our campaign. And why, I think as a very simple Karyakarta of the Bharatiya Janata Party, if I'm to reflect on that decision, given that I'm not a member of the parliamentary board, I can say what is it that the citizen looks forward when they go to vote. They want to ensure that local infrastructure is upgraded. They want to ensure that educational and academic facilities are well provided for. In the rural ramparts of our country, they want to make sure that agrarian practices are supported by the government of the day. When it comes to female voters, I'm of the opinion they want to ensure that the nutritional needs of their children, the academic needs of their children, job opportunities for themselves and those that they love are assured. And these are the issues for which Narendra Modi is known for. Not only to ensure that there is fiscal prudence, the GDP numbers have been fantastic, but this is also a Prime Minister that has given you Swanidhi, where people who are street vendors have received direct credit from banks. So given the Prime Minister's insistence on ensuring that the fruits of development reach every segment of society, that is what every citizen votes for, be it assembly elections or national elections. So I think particularly I am extremely pleased that we went with the winning combination, the Bharatiya Janata Party Sangathan and the Modi magic.
Now, the opposition all through promised a caste survey and kept baiting the Bharatiya Janata Party for not taking a position on it. Given the fact that OBCs and tribals have voted in overwhelming numbers in all three states now for the Bharatiya Janata Party, does that mean that that's now no longer going to be an issue either for the BJP? And do you believe that that particular attempt to, as the BJP said, divide the population has flopped?
I think that there are 5 issues which need to be flagged. One, when you talk about the Adivasi vote, what is it that Prime Minister Modi has done for the tribal community in our country? There is one, the Janjatiya Gaurav Divas. Never before in the history of our democracy was a day particularly assigned so that we could celebrate our tribal community's contribution to the growth of our country, the vibrancy of tribal culture, all that came together under Janjatiya Divas. Secondly, the Prime Minister's program of Jan Man, where particularly in tribal hamlets, the Prime Minister insisted that social infrastructure, especially Anganwadis, schools, roads, agrarian practices that needed support, especially for tribal communities. These are issues which he has been very particular about and ensured that there is a policy framework that complements his vision. Thirdly, I think when you talk about the caste census, I think the Congress party particularly was foolhardy. In a day and age where there are so many modes and mediums of communication, could the Congress possibly be so convinced that they managed to hoodwink citizens and particularly voters of our country? I am extremely grateful that the Congress's agenda to divide our country on the basis of caste has been decisively defeated by the voters of our country.
Does this mean that the BJP now will perhaps not look at pressing on with the census across the country?
I think Rahul, you would like us to do projections for the next 5 to 10 years in one interview. I can only say this, that the Bharatiya Janata Party is committed to welfare of all segments of society. That the Bharatiya Janata Party has also, and you cannot discount the fact that in this decisive victory, even minority communities have voted for the Bharatiya Janata Party. And that is why my gratitude towards the citizens today. They voted for the fiscal prudence of Narendra Modi. They voted against the divisive policy of the Congress party. They voted against dynasty. And I think that is the resounding success of our democracy today. I can only say that the Congress and those who were whispering in their power corridors had already conceded that 2024 looks difficult for them. I think today, given how they've been swept out of the heartland, they may be recalculating their positions for 29 as well.
So I'm only going to ask you now for the next 6 months.
The question possibly that begets is, will their alliance survive this debacle?
That you might be right about that, because there is already disquiet in the alliance. But just looking 6 months ahead, couple of questions to you, ma'am, before I let you go. In Telangana, the BJP has doubled its vote share. I think it looks to be adding about 7 or 8 more seats. Yet the BJP will feel that it's an opportunity lost. And in the South, generally, the BJP has not been able to make much of an impact. Number one, why do you think so? And what do you think needs to be done to correct that?
I think that the Bharatiya Janata Party cannot be written off and taken so lightly even in the south of India, particularly given that 2 high-ranking cabinet ministers come from the south of India, namely Nirmala Sitharaman and Jai Shankar. I also believe that our local leadership has borne us fruits. There is new leadership at the anvil. There is Annamalai in Tamil Nadu. We have a new state president in Karnataka. Even in Telangana, Bandi Sanjay did well. So did Kishan Reddy ji. Given that politics does not give you results in 48 hours, even states like Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Rajasthan are states where we have actually worked decades on end as Karyakartas to get the results that you see today. I'm sure that in the times that are forthcoming, you will see resounding victory for the Bharatiya Janata Party in our southern states as well. But I also think what is particularly damaging for the Congress party is that this party found the remnants of power politics in the north of India today and stands completely decimated in states which have a huge political say in the politics of India.
Final question to you. 2024 foregone conclusion in favor of the Bharatiya Janata Party is bar 400 par?
I've had the privilege of working with Prime Minister Modi for over 1.5 decades. I can say only this much. Prime Minister Modi takes not a day for granted, not a voter for granted, not a victory for granted. And that is what makes Modi magic possible. I'm so sure that as we speak, he is dedicating himself to policies that will benefit every community. He is dedicating himself to strengthening our party not only for 24 but also for 29.
Thank you, Ms.
He
Irani.
doesn't
I'm
take
sure
his
there will be a...
responsibilities or his victory or his voters for granted.
Thank
And
you
that's
very
what
much.
makes
Thank you
Narendra
very
Modi
much.
special in Indian politics.
Thank you very much. Well said. I suppose for BJP supporters, it's not a done deal. They're going to give it all. Thank you very much. There'll be a lot of celebration in the BJP headquarters. The Prime Minister expected that around 6 this evening. We'll take a short break. Back with lots more.